Having a driving license in Germany can be a very lengthy process. It is very, very difficult to have a driving license in this country. In fact, there are so many people who have spent so many years looking for a driving license in this country. But trust me, today I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about driving license. And after this video, you just go straight and do your driving license. But you must watch the complete video so that you will be able to understand everything I want to say in this video about driving license in Germany, especially if you are living in Germany or you're about to move to Germany. It's very, very important. We need our driving license in doing everything in this country. Without driving license, so there are some jobs which they cannot even offer you. Now, if you go to search for a work in a company, in fact, everybody is asking if you have your driving license. They always ask, you must put it in your CV if you have your driving license. And driving license in Germany also, it's very important. Why? Because there are some you can also drive a small mobilette, a small bike. You can drive a small bike if you don't want to have a car, or you don't have money to buy a car. You can use and drive a small bike. So that's why we also need it, because since it's a very lonely country, sometimes we travel, we have to go see family, friends. We have to travel across the border. If you want to travel across the border and you are illegal, you can always use your car. I'm not saying it's legal, you have to do it, but a lot of people do it because if they have a family member like living in Germany and you have your family member in France, they want to go to France, they just use their car. There's no checking. They don't check at the border since it's a free movement within the Schengen zone. But when it doesn't mean that it's a free movement within the Schengen zone, they don't check in the bus. If you are using the bus to go to France, if you are illegal or you are an illegal immigrant, asylum seeker or whatever, if you cross, you can cross very well. You can go to France, but coming back will be a problem. Are you going to enter? So that's where the problem lies. You can have luck and enter, but usually 80% they might check inside the bus, and when they check, they'll ask for your resident permit. And if you do not have your resident permit and they realize that you have seek asylum, you might go to jail for a day, or you might have they might pity you for that day, but just know you might sleep in the safe for a day or two. And if you do it 3 times, they'll fine you a very big fine. So it will enter record as a criminal. You have a criminal record, so it's not a good thing. So what people do is everybody try to have their driving license, so that with their driving license they can always move around, go to work. And if you are staying in the village, especially, which most people usually do because it's very costly to live in the city, because of housing, the cost of house and life cost is very difficult. So most migrants, and even when you seek asylum, we all know when you seek asylum, they usually send you people to the village. They send most people to the village and to live there. So in these villages, you will need car, even though there's bus and train, but the inconvenience is very high because you might not get to your destination at the time which you expect. No, it might not. Sometimes the train might not work, or the bus might have a fault, and you will be late in your appointment and everything. You might get to your job site, but the problem is you might not be able to get on time when you are doing your things. You might get home, you might work, and you want to do maybe buy stuff for you want to buy some stuff, and you cannot get home on time. That's the problem. It's very difficult when you don't have a driving license in Germany. That's why we all need driving license in this country. But today our effort will be on how we're gonna achieve the driving license in Germany as an immigrant. Guys have been here for so many years and they still do not know what to do or how it works to have their driving license. Mind you, the international driving license you might be using and you think that it works, the day they will get you, it's gonna be a very big problem for you. Sometimes if a police check and he doesn't understand the law, he might just let you go. A police that will check and understand that you're not supposed to use international driving license, that international driving license which some guys are using, you might get into a very big problem, very, very big problem. So just be very careful with that. As an illegal migrant, anybody can achieve their driving license here in Germany, being legal or illegal. When I say illegal or legal means when you have your resident permit. It might be temporal or permanent. Anything, it's being legal. But when you talk of being illegal, it's when you, for example, you seek something like asylum. If you seek asylum and they give you a paper, a document which shows that you seek asylum, that document, it doesn't mean that you're legal. It doesn't mean you're legal. Your job is being recognized. You're just being recognized. You're only recognized by the government. that you are staying in that country but you are not legal. You're not legal, it doesn't mean that's not legal. It's one of the only countries in Europe where illegal migrants can do their driving license. In many countries, asylum seekers do not have the right to do driving license, only if they have their resident permit. So this is why Germany is very important to have your resident, why it's very important to have your resident permit. And again, one day you don't know what might happen to you in Germany. You might be kicked off, you might want to leave Germany, you want to move, and maybe anything happen and you want to move. So it's very important because you don't know. This is a country where you cannot tell. This is how Germany is. You cannot tell. Anything can happen. And if you have your driving license, you just kick with your car. You just leave before anything. Like I see a lot of people who also, it has helped a lot of people, a lot of guys who were almost supposed to be deported, and they just move with their car to the neighboring country. They just use the driving license, move to their car to the neighboring country. I've seen a lot of guys who went to Paris because they were almost being deported, and they just left with their driving license. They took their driving license, their car, and they just left. And it's simple as that, very simple. So this is how it works. Okay, when you are illegal in Germany, what you do is, after your asylum, after they have sent you to the camp, that paper which they give you, which you take from Auslander, the paper which Auslander, the international office, gives to you, okay, you just go register in any driving school around your city. You don't need any passport. You don't need a passport. You register in any driving school. They give you an application. They'll first of all give you a book. It is very less costly. First, because you have to do the theoretical part first. In Germany, driving license is divided into two parts. We have the theoretical part and the practical part. For the theoretical part, it's it's some people think that it's difficult, but it's not difficult. It's very easy. The practical part is also very easy, but if you pass the theoretical part, which is the most important part, then you just know that your driving license has already been printed. Now it's just left for you to do the practical, which will cost a lot of money. Okay, so it's very simple. If you are an asylum seeker, or you have already been transferred to the camp or anything, what you do is you just go to the center or to any driving school, you register. It's going to cost you about 300 euro. So they'll give you a book and an app. Actually, the book is in German. You don't need it. Okay, so you don't need the book. They just give you for formality's sake, because they give everybody. So you just have to have the book. But what is important is that the application which they give to you, it's where you have to be learning from your phone. So they give you an application. You have to download the application in your phone, and you are learning from there. After learning, so they will be seeing, they will be knowing it's a software. It's a software where, as you are learning, it takes you to a more grade as you are learning, until you get to the time where you are able to write. When you are learning, it takes you to another grade. If the app sees that, if they realize that you are learning, you are doing great in the app, so it will show in the app that you are doing great. So it will already be showing you your percentage of grade if you are able to write. So it can take you to up to 80 level, up to 80%. If you're up to 80%, it means that you can already write the exam. So it's as simple as that. The application is also in English and in French, in many other languages. So it means that you can write your exam, your German driving license exam, in any language which you choose to. If you can speak German, it's good for you. If you can speak English, it's good for you. You can speak French, any language you want to write, it's there. You can write it in your language which you know very best. But the only thing is that the practical part is in German, but the practical part is nothing. So if the driver, your tutor or your teacher is only going to tell you rechts, links, he doesn't say geradeaus. It means that if he doesn't speak, you just go straight. If he says right, he says rechts. If you say links, you say right, you say left. So sometimes even some teachers will even find pleasure in teaching you in English. So It just depends on the teacher. Some will not want, but it doesn't. He will not talk too much with you, so it doesn't. Anybody can do it, even if you cannot speak German language. You don't speak any language. You don't speak German language. You can always achieve your driving license. Many guys in this country have gotten it without speaking the language. In fact, even me, I got mine. I was not speaking German. I was not speaking German by then, so I got mine when I was not speaking German. So anybody can get it without speaking the language. So it's not about the language. Language doesn't have anything to do with it. So, and you do not have to write anything. It's multiple choice. You just look at the question and identify the problem. It's on your tablet. The day on the exam, they just bring a tablet in front of everyone. You just, as you are going, you meet a tablet in front, and you see questions, and you just identify the problem, the answers of the problem of the question. You just identify and tick on your finger, and just tap on your finger like this on the tablet, tack, and that's it. You are good to go. And you might spend 30 minutes. I mean, I don't know any guy who have failed that exam. Oh yeah, one person. I know one guy who failed. Yeah, but just one. But many other guys, I mean, even if you are dumb pass, you can always pass that exam. It's nothing. Just read, and sometimes you don't even read. What the secret in that thing is, don't read. Yeah, don't read. If you read, you will not understand. Just look at the problem. Just go to the app, look at these things and understand them. Just look at them. You say, I know this, I know this, I know this answer, I know this question. This question, the answer is this, because it's on the app. You will see the question and the answers everywhere in the app. You just be ticking on the app, tick. If you fail, the app will tell you that you have failed. If you pass, the app will let you pass. So when you fail, you know all these questions and answers. They are just repeating themselves. It's just repeating what you've already answered. You know, they are like repeating everything you have done. So you just identify. If some people just go there, it's just like me. I didn't have that time. I just went there and I was like, I know this question and I know this answer. It was like this, because when I put it here, it didn't go. It showed me failed. So this one was the one that showed me pass. So I just identify the problem. In fact, I identify the question and I also identify the answers. I just know them. Just by knowing them, I just tick, tack. It was just going. Within 25 minutes, I'm done. I will speak for my part so that you can understand. Okay. In Isaac Asylum, I just registered in a driving school. Then they gave me the application. I did everything in the application. They gave me a formality book, which is in Deutschland. It's in German. I really don't need it, so the book is just there. It's a formality they need to give. They will give it to you. So I just kept the book at home, but I was using the app, the application. But you know, and I stopped work during that time because I needed to really concentrate. They have about 1,000 plus questions. These 1,000 questions, you have to be answering them every day. Like, you know, so for me, I was answering 20 questions a day. 20 questions. Sometimes when I became very familiar with the questions, I was just answering them and answering them. So it took me just 1 month to read everything in the app, to learn everything in the app. Just 1 month. After 1 month, I was already able to go and write. It showed on the app that I was already 80%. So when I went, I wrote and I passed. The first time I passed. You can fail. Hello. You can fail. So the first time I passed and I was good to go. So the next thing now, after you pass, is they give you a paper which shows that you have already passed your exam. Then you can now go for practical. You can choose the same school if you want, the same school which you did the theory. You can choose the same school as well. You can as well choose another school for practical. So it's just your choice. You take the paper which they give it to you, you go to any driving school for practical, you register there, which I did the same. I registered in a driving school and I was good to go. So I started paying small money, like 500 each week, but if you are doing the practical, you need to be working. It is very important, because if you don't work, there's no how you can pay that kind of money, because it costs a lot of money to do the practical. Yeah, so I was doing the practical each day. Each week I was paying until my experience was very bad, because the first German guy that was teaching, who was my teacher, he was a kind of bad person. So it was a little bit crazy. It was crazy. So I I couldn't continue with him. I even had to go to the police. I reported him, but the police told me they couldn't do anything about it. So if I just have to change, because the guy didn't really want me to learn. He didn't want me to learn. I think he has a problem with other nationalities. He has a problem. So I was already on 3,000 euros. I already paid 3,000 euros, but I still didn't know a lot of things. So when I left, the police said they couldn't do anything. Say I just have to go to another driving school. Then I asked, what of my money, all the money that I've already paid, which was 3,000. They said they don't know what they can do. So I had to leave. I went to another driving school, and when the guy tasted me, he realized that I don't know anything. So he had to start back again with me until I had to pay again another 3,500. So the total cost was 6,500. So, but because also I failed 2 times, normally it was supposed to be like 3,000 2,000 something, about 2,800 or 700. But when you fail, you have to pay a certain amount of money. So as I failed 2 times, I paid again another amount of money, which sum up to 6,500. But you know, the most important thing is very costly, very, very costly, more than the ones in many other countries, that I know. In USA, I have a friend who spent only $400 to achieve their driving license. But yeah, it's very costly. So I paid that money and I achieved the driving license, and I was good to go. So the next thing was I just had to buy a car, with a small car. You know, like you buy a small car so you can be strong. You have to be driving this car every time so you can be familiar with it, with the road and everything. Because after having your driving license, you don't have to keep it. You have to be driving at least, so that you can be familiar and know how to drive very well. Because it doesn't mean that you have it then you know how to drive. There are some things that you have to do it practical every day before you really understand how to go about it. So when I did that, I had my driving license. I took a small car. I was driving it to work, and you know, I was good to go. I started driving till now 2018, which I did. And just know that your driving license is gonna cost you, it's gonna really cost you a fortune. So some people are just like, they say, no, I can't pay that sum of money. I've met some guy who say, no, the money is just too much, it's too much. How am I gonna pay like 5,000 to 6,000 or 4,000? It's 4,500. You pay like 4,500 to 5,000 euros just to acquire a driving license. How am I gonna do that? Man, you will pay it. If you don't pay it, you will not have driving license, and you will have the inconvenience all your life without driving license. So if you do not pay it, if you do not go and do your driving license, you will have that inconvenience all your life living in Germany. If you know that you want to make Germany your country, then you don't plan to have your driving license, then you're going to have the inconvenience all your life. That's very normal. That's why even anybody, it's not luxury. Driving in Germany is not luxury. It is a necessity. You need it. From this, I hope you can understand and learn how you can do your driving license in Germany. In Germany, it is very, very difficult to do your driving license. You just have to sacrifice the money which you have sacrificed. That's why when you see anybody in Germany driving a car, you have to really respect the person, because it's not easy to have a driving license in Germany. It is very difficult. There are people who have stayed in this country for like 10 years. They do not have driving license. They do not. I've met a lot of people who do not have driving license. When they look at you with so much respect, because they don't understand how you just have your driving license. They don't understand. Yeah, it's very difficult. But somebody who is determined, who will really want to have their driving license, will have it. It is very possible, and it's very easier than what some people will tell you. Because when you come into this country, some people will give you the notion that everything is difficult, some things are very difficult to do. No, it's just the system. Yeah, the system you're gonna see for yourself. Don't let people to tell you that no, this is difficult. You will do it. Because I've seen a lot of guys who do not even know, who came to Germany, they didn't know how to read and write. I know a lot of Gambians who came to Germany, they did not know how to read and write, but now they are able to read and write, and they did their driving license, they passed. So how is that possible? There were so many guys I was studying with, they did not know how to read and write, but now they could read and write, and they have passed their driving license, and they are doing their stuff, living their life. So it is very possible to have your driving license here in Germany and as well do whatever you want to do.